All right, hello everyone. I hope y'all can hear me. I'm just trying to open the chat to see if I can see the comments, but I will get started in just about one more minute, okay? I'm very excited to be here. Please put in the chat where you're from. I'm so excited to get to know where y'all are here coming from. All right, we're gonna get started. So I'm just going to introduce myself and just start, and then we'll run through the questions at the end, just so that I can see the chat from you all. So hello, my name is Laura. I am so happy to be here, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about Carleton University and what really makes us unique from other universities. I'll tell you all a little bit about myself. I just graduated this past June. I graduated with a Bachelor's of Science. I majored in Neuroscience and Mental Health, and I also minored in Psychology and Law. So that's just a little bit about me. I will share more about my story and how I decided to come to Carleton University through this presentation. I'll also be sharing some really cool stories about our faculty and some of our students that are doing some really groundbreaking research here at Carleton. All right, so before we do get started with all of that, we do like to take a moment before all of our presentations to acknowledge that Carleton, the campus, is located on the traditional unceded territories of the Algonquin Nation. So this is really important to us here at Carleton because it really demonstrates the respect that we have for the Algonquin people. And it also serves as a reminder for us that we are guests on their land. So other than doing this acknowledgement at the beginning of all of our presentations, we have taken some great steps towards reconciliation with the Indigenous community. We actually just, we have started the Kinamagwin 41 Steps to Action with the Indigenous community. And these have, there are 41 steps on how we can really incorporate our Indigenous community within our greater Carleton community. The picture that you all see here is our amazing Ojibwanog Center that is located on our campus. So if we look at our campus, I don't know if y'all can see my cursor, but it is right in the heart of our academic buildings in the little building that looks like a T. I'm not sure if y'all can see me, but it's this building right here. And these are all of our amazing academic buildings. Other things that you can see in this picture are our residences that are located up here. They're all in the same little area. So if you do have friends from other residences, it'll only take you about a minute or two to walk to where they live. On this side of our campus, we do have all of our athletic buildings. And as y'all can see, we're surrounded by lots of nature, including our Rideau Canal on this side, which actually freezes over and becomes the world's largest skateway. So you can go all the way downtown Ottawa and skip all of the traffic, which is a great advantage if you're trying to go downtown at like 2 p.m. So something that you guys can't see in this picture is our tunnels. So we have tunnels that run underneath all of our campus, and they connect each of our buildings. So if it's super, super cold and you don't feel like going outside, you can always take the tunnels, and then you don't have to carry your winter coat. All right, so today I'm just going to cover a little bit about everything. We're going to cover our major faculties. We're going to cover some of our scholarships and bursaries. We're also going to talk about what it's like to live in residence, as well as some things about athletics. But please, Ask your questions. I'm more than happy to answer them. If I don't get them, please send us a message. We're more than happy to just sit down and talk with you all. All right, let's keep going. So we do want this to be the beginning of a conversation. So you guys can always message us through this platform, or after the fair is over, you can reach us at admissions@carleton.ca. You can also join us for a guided campus tour, or you can book a coffee break with either myself, one of my colleagues, or a student, where we'll be able to talk one-on-one with you all about what you're interested in and all of your questions. You can also join us through our Lives at Fives, which are every Wednesday. So those, please join. We go super in depth in specific topics about Carleton, including residents, faculties, programs that we have, athletics, all of those cool things. And we are more than happy to answer all your questions. And with that, we're going to focus a little bit on how we will challenge you to become the best student that you can be and to really get to where you want to be in your future. So the first way that, the first faculty that we're going to talk about today is our Arts and Social Sciences. Now, this is the faculty if you want to really learn how humans interact with each other, and then you're really trying to understand people. So we do this by learning how humans interact with each other and the world through various different lenses. And one of those lenses is the Indigenous Studies lens. So here in the middle, we have Professor Horn-Miller, and she does some really amazing research on Indigenous education and language. And she actually helps disseminate this research within the Carleton community as well as across Canada. Some really amazing research comes from her work, but we also have lots of other research coming from our Faculty of Engineering and Design. Now, this is your faculty for the people that love to build stuff, that love to understand how things work, whether it's computers, whether it's software, or how to make a building, or how to make sustainable projects. One of our really amazing projects from the Industrial Design faculty is the project from Maddie and Luann. So what they actually did was that they wanted to focus on the disability with people with disabilities, specifically visual disabilities. So what they did was that they actually created a labeling system and an app to help this population with being a little more independent. So the label, as y'all can see up here, has a QR code. So they'll scan the QR code, and then the app will tell them what color the sweater is, how to wash them, how to sort them, and all that stuff, really giving the visual impaired a little more independence. All right, so our next faculty is one of my favorites, the Faculty of Public Affairs. So a little bit more about me and my story. I actually did my minor again in psychology and law, and my law minor was actually in this faculty. Now, I loved being part of this faculty because you really do get taught by experts. So I was taught by criminal lawyers when I was taking a criminal law class. One of the really cool experiences that I had was actually getting taught by a judge that works here in Ottawa, and he would invite us to go see him in court to really see what it's like to be in the courtroom. The law professors here also use the Harvard method, meaning that they teach using cases instead of just teaching you the law. Now, if law is not for you, no problem. We have lots of different programs within the Faculty of Public Affairs that are super, super interesting and for those change makers of the world. As I said, we are very, very proud to have professors that are experts and leaders within their fields. One of them being Adrian Harewood. He is actually a news anchor for CBC Ottawa News here in Ottawa. And he's a leading voice in journalism and race. And he's actually one of our many professors within our Faculty of Public Affairs that's actually teaching our journalism students. Now, I love the Faculty of Public Affairs, but there's one and only that I love the most, and that's our Faculty of Science. Now, as I said, this is my home faculty. I did a bachelor's in science. I majored in neuroscience and mental health. So this is where I love. So I know that most universities do have a bachelor's of science, but what really sets us apart to me, it really, really came down to the commitment from our professors. The professors here are really here to teach you, and they use an evidence-based approach to learning so that they can help you to learn the best way that you can. We also have lots of different supports for our science students, including our Science Student Success Center, which is, again, specifically for science students. And this is really a space where science students can go to get help in areas that they might struggle in quite a bit. For me, it was writing and chemistry. I was not good at writing chemistry lab reports. So I actually took a couple of their workshops to get really better at it. And those seemed to really, really help as I progressed through my education. They also offer lots of different workshops on postgrad. So for example, myself, I wanted to go into medical school. So I did take workshops on how to write the MCAT, how to do the application for medical school, interviewing skills, and all of these other things that have really, really helped me get to the next level of my career. Finally, one of the things that really does set us apart within the Faculty of Science is our research opportunities really do begin from year one. I personally joined a lab in my second year of university, and this was an amazing experience that actually led me into doing a thesis-based fourth year. I actually got to do some really, really cool research on Parkinson's disease and treatments for Parkinson's, and I also ended up writing my thesis for my fourth year, my honors fourth year project on eating disorders and treatments for that. And I'm not the only one. There are so many other undergrad students that get to do some really amazing research within our Faculty of Science, as well as all of our other faculties. We really do emphasize hands-on learning here at Carleton, regardless of what program you're looking at. Within the Faculty of Science, another undergrad student that's doing some really amazing research is Emily Arsenault. So she's a fourth year neuroscience and mental health student who is actually working with Professor Aguilar-Valles, that is shown here. And they're doing some really groundbreaking research with ketamine. So ketamine is typically used to treat mood disorders, but it's not used very widely because it's quite a new drug. So it's only used for patients that are typically resistant to other treatments for depression. But the research that has been shown with ketamine has shown that it has really a great potential for these types of diseases. We also have some really amazing funding that comes from the Canadian Institute of Health. So that just goes to show how important all of this research really is. So although I could keep talking about science and all of the amazing things that our science faculty has, I will move on to another faculty that is doing some amazing thing and has some great programs, and that's our Sprott School of Business. I have to give a shout out to our International Business Program. This program really integrates your your love for travel, as well as your love for business. So within our international business program, what you actually get to do is to integrate these two loves together by studying a language for 2 years, and then you move on to living in a country that speaks that language for a whole year. So my friend Carly, she got to study Spanish for 2 years, and then in her third year, she got to live in Spain, which was a great experience for her. So now within this faculty, we also get to integrate our interests, which is something else that Carleton is very proud of. So this is our student. Her name is Chelsea Smith, and she actually got to integrate her interest from psychology and business. And she does some really, really cool research studying what happens to employees when they're mistreated at work. So here at Carleton, we're really, really hopeful that you as a student will be able to integrate all of your interests regardless of if they're in the same type of sphere or not. Myself, I did, again, law and science, which are not in the same spheres, but Carleton welcomed me and helped me to really learn about all of my interests. All right, so now that we've talked a little bit about our faculties, we will move on to our funding. So we're proud to say that we have given over $28 million in scholarships and bursaries just last year. We are here to support you financially the best way that we can. One of the best ways that we can do that is through our entrance scholarships. So these range from $4,000 to $16,000 depending on your high school average. These don't need an application, so there's nothing that you have to do. These are just automatic, and they are renewable. So you just have to keep a minimum GPA of 10.0 once you're a Carleton student. If you do dip down a little bit below that average, that's okay. We do put your scholarship on pause, and then once you get back up to that GPA of 10.0, we do give you your scholarship back. Another way that we help you finance your schooling is through our prestige scholarships. So these are a little harder to get. They have a little more requirements, but they do range from $20,000 to a full tuition. So for these, what you have to do is you have to do an application, and you do have to have a minimum of 90% and some extracurricular activities. But the good news is that you do one application for 24 different scholarships, so your odds are really, really good. So please, if you do have the 90% and the extracurricular activities, please apply to these. These are an amazing opportunity. Now, we do understand that some students do need some help financially, just based on financial need. So we do have two different types of bursaries. We have our entrance bursaries and our leadership entrance bursaries. So these, again, do need an application that you need to fill out, but the application is not very long and it's not very hard. So please, if this applies to you, feel free to fill out this application. We're more than happy to help you fund your schooling. All right, so although we help our students financially, I will say one thing and one thing only, and is that the Carleton community is what really sets us apart from other universities. So we are proudly made up of over 31,000 students from 150 different countries. So this gives us such an advantage because we're a medium-sized school. So it's large enough to have these world-renowned professors in state-of-the-art technology. We have new buildings. We just opened up our new Sprott building, and our health science building is only about 2 years old. But we're small enough that you actually get to build those meaningful connections with your professors that really help you learn everything that you're learning. It also gives you the advantage that you'll be able to make those meaningful connections with other students as well. One of the best ways to build these meaningful connections with other students is through living in residence. So this was one of my best experiences. I absolutely loved living in residence, and I made some really lifelong friends. I actually just came back from visiting one of my friends that I met in my third day at Carleton in residence in Calgary. So you really, really do get to build these connections. Another way to build these amazing connections is through athletics. We have lots of different sporting events. I don't know if y'all know, but we have our big rivalry against Ottawa U, friendly rivalry against Ottawa U, and we have our Panda Game for our football lovers, our Capital Hoops for basketball lovers, and our Carnaby Classic for hockey lovers. So these are just big events that we have against Ottawa U, and all of our Carleton students and Ottawa U students go and support their varsity teams. And if I'm going to be honest, most of the time Carleton does win. If you don't like sporting events, that's also a-okay. We have lots of different teams that you can join, including our intramural teams. We have also our competitive teams, or if you play varsity, you can also play on one of our varsity teams. We also have lots of different facilities within our athletics, including our high performance gym, as well as our regular gym. We have squash courts, we have pools. I did work at athletics for 3 years, so please do ask me questions if you have any about athletics. All right. With that, that is the end of my presentation. I know that that was a lot of information, and I don't expect you all to remember it all. So please, please, please go on to Carleton 360 and mail yourself a Viewbook. Now, this will tell you everything that I told you today and more. It'll give you more detail. It'll give you the averages that you need to apply to your specific programs. It'll outline all of the programs that we have here at Carleton. It'll tell you a little bit more about residence and athletics and all the things that we have within each part of our school. All right, with that, I will call it quits, and I'm here to answer any questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then I'm going to check our little chat to see if we have any questions, but please, please, please do ask the questions. All right, give me 2 seconds to stop sharing my screen. And now let's see. Oh, I see there's Vancouver, BC. I've always wanted to go to Vancouver. I'm hoping to go next year afterwards. All right, I'm gonna scroll up and see if we have any questions that we can answer. Is there all right, for our Bachelor's of Biology, Isha, I believe that you still have to apply through OUAC. I don't know if there's a summer intake. Oh, hold on. Give me 1 second. I just got to scroll up. All right. For PhD programs, I would reach out for immunology. I would probably reach out to our biology program. They'll have a little more details, or send an email to admissions@carleton.ca, and they'll be able to give you a little more information. All right. Who can I contact to learn more about planning for PBDA program for admissions? I would send an email again to admissions@carleton.ca. They'll have a little more information, and they'll be able to point you in the right direction. Can I talk about other programs? I'm interested in your post-baccalaureate diploma in accounting, and that is offered online. I can definitely look to see if I have more information. If you're looking specifically at the Sprott School of Business, I would advise you to go to their website and see everything that they offer and their requirements. Give me 1 second. All right, give me 1 more second. I'm just trying to look for the right answer for you.
Hello, I'm not sure. Can you guys all hear me? I'm also another recruitment assistant here at Carleton, so I'll be helping out Laura with some questions. As she does some of them, I'll answer the other ones as well. Is everyone able to hear me? Laura, everything's okay?
We're good.
All right, so I'm going to hop in here, answer some of the questions. Let's see. Okay, Laura's gone over some of these. I'll go down. There are so many. So can I major in economics and then minor in computer science? Sorry, my screen. But let me double check. We were talking about that actually earlier, which is great. But where is it? Give me 1 second. Okay, so in order to answer your question, yes, you can minor in comm sci. There is limited enrollment, so you do have to double check with that. So there may still be space available when you are applying, but do understand that obviously there are limited spots when there is that option. Is it required to have completed an undergraduate thesis? So some programs do have theses at the end of their 4th year programs, and a lot of students actually get really hands-on experience and do a lot of research within those. In order to come into your undergraduate, no. But some courses do have supplementary applications. You do just have to look at the credentials, whether or not there are supplementary applications or there's another word for it. I forgot what the other word is, but yes, you might need to submit some other stuff for these programs depending on what you're interested in.
Yeah, if you're looking to do like graduate degrees, some of them do ask you to do a thesis-based program, which means that you do a thesis project at the end. But some undergraduates, most of our undergraduates here at Carleton, you can either have a choice between not doing a thesis or doing a thesis.
Exactly. Do you offer engineering management as a minor? So engineering management itself, no, we don't have it under that title, but we do have other engineering programs that you're obviously able to minor in as well. Dental hygiene programs do not have dental hygiene. We get this question all the time. Maybe one time we'll have it in our program listing, but we do not currently have dental hygiene. But we do have like other courses that are kind of similar. Maybe we'll lead you in the same direction, but dental school and stuff like that, no. So our Global and International Studies program is one of a kind. I believe our colleague, was it Carly, that's in that program, and they've been able to travel, and there is a travel and I believe a language requirement for that program. So definitely take a look at that. If you want, you can message me and Laura after this, and we can get you some more detailed information, because the program is super, super cool. And if I could have gone into any other program, it probably would have been that one. So I could have had the ability to travel around the world. So take a look at that.
Industrial design and faculty admit for first year. I don't know the specific numbers, but I do know that we do have a limited enrollment. And for some of our industrial design programs, we do have to, you do have to submit a portfolio. So I would do it as soon as you possibly can.
Yeah. Any scholarships available? Yeah, Laura went over them. We have our entrance scholarship and our prestige scholarship. Entrance scholarship, again, you do not have to apply for. Prestige scholarships requires us to see your extracurricular activities as well as a 90% minimum average to get in. So that's the prestige scholarships that we do offer as well. We are zooming through these.
10.0 GPA is an 80%.
Yeah, we do have also a GPA chart on our website, because it is different from some schools. I know some schools go up to a different GPA. So if you look up Carleton University's GPA kind of chart average, you'll see the exact number. It'll give you either a B or a B minus or an A. But yeah, Laura, do you know the exact?
I believe it's an 80%, but I'll double check.
Okay. Okay, we went over those. Can you talk about English proficiency requirements? So yeah, I believe it's with international schools. Or international students, there is a English requirement that you do have to fulfill when applying to the school. So that'll be in the requirements when you do actually go through admissions and the process of uploading your documents and stuff like that. So definitely take a look at all the requirements that you do need in order to get in. But for our current Ontario high school students, there's just the same application that you put through your OUAC account.
Okay, so 10.0 is an 80% GPA, so that's what you have to maintain to keep your entrance scholarships. But as I said, if you don't have that GPA, like let's say you're in your second year and it drops a little bit below, what we'll do is that we'll just like pause your scholarship, and then once you get up to that 80% again, then you'll get your scholarship back. And I also see another question. What were your hours like working in athletics? I loved working in athletics, and I could talk for hours on end. They are really, really flexible, and I can, Tatiana can also say that, like, we both worked at Carleton. They're very, very understanding that you are a student. So if you ask for less hours, they're more than happy to. I personally only worked, I think, like 12 hours a week. By the end, I was working a little more because I had just like gone into the habit of working. But you can, like, I remember in my first year, I worked like maybe like 4 hours.
Yeah, I think working on campus is one of the best advantages that we do have. You're able to, again, take our tunnel system right to work after your last class. And it's super convenient because of the fact that you're right on campus. You don't have to leave campus in order to get to your job or whatnot. So I think that was probably one of the best experiences. And obviously we loved it so much that we continued working here.
Okay, I see another one. Is there a way I could study neuroscience and psychology? Yeah, I actually, I majored in neuroscience and mental health, and then minored in psychology. But I will say, just being in the neuroscience program does, you do study a lot of psychology. So if you wanted to just do one major, no minor, I would do like a neuroscience and then just take extra psychology courses. But neuroscience and mental health, shout out, great program. I loved it. It's again one of a kind. The professors, all of the oh my gosh, the Department of Neuroscience is really, really welcoming and loving, and they're really there to help you, and they really help you succeed, even though you're learning about one of the most complex organs in the entire body. Great.
What other questions do we have here? What time is it? Okay, we're on time. So in your opinion, what makes for an excellent university application essay? I say one of the best things I had, I got the best advice from some of my professors when I wanted to apply to grad school, and they really said showcase not only your personality, but kind of everything you've done, and don't make it seem like it's such an academic essay. Make it like more personal, so you kind of stand out when people are reading those essays. That you do have the upper hand when you do kind of make that personal connection, which I love. So I would say really showcase your personality through your writing, and that hopefully makes you stand out through the rest and gives you a good kind of fit for those people who are reading your essay. So I would say that's probably the best tip that we can give. Laura, I don't know if you have any as well.
Just be unique. That's one of the things that has always been emphasized at Carleton. It's really, really be you and be an honest, true, to be honest and true to who you are. We love individuality and we want to promote that. So be you. Also, I see another question about pay at athletics. Yes, it's minimum wage. Yes, it's worth it because even though you're working for minimum wage, you again have the advantage that if you have to go to work, you don't have to like take a bus somewhere. You just go to a different part of campus.
You do a lot of money working on campus because there's endless opportunities to just be able to kind of walk around and not have to actually commute. So that's another great option.
And I will say working in athletics was super convenient because I would work out after work. So I would like do my 4-hour, 5-hour shift, and then I would work out and then go home.
Which is great.
Do you need to speak French in order to work on campus? I don't think so. I mean, I did French immersion. I don't speak it. And I was still employed at Carleton.
Yeah, I don't think speaking French is a requirement. So don't let that discourage you. I've never heard of that, but maybe speaking French is an advantage because you might be talking to French students. But yeah, no, I don't think it's a requirement in order to work on campus. So do you offer I believe that's a Bachelor of Nursing. We do not offer nursing at Carleton University. So we do offer health science, which is very similar. Laura might be able to speak about that. But nursing itself, no, we don't have it kind of titled under Carleton. That's another one that we get a lot. So no, we do not have nursing.
When is early application? I would apply as soon as you get your OUAC number, the PIN. Apply as soon as you can. And then the earliest that you can hear from us is December.
Yeah.
But we do have a rolling admission, so you could get an admission letter at any time.
Yeah, don't let that discourage you. Like if your friends get accepted in December, I got accepted in May, and that's cutting it close. So don't let that fool you. The process, I worked in another recruitment for Carleton, the telecounseling office, and you can just see how many applications actually come through and how long it actually takes. So that's hence why maybe some people get it before others. But yeah. What else is there? Do you have any co-current? I don't know where the question was. Oh, do you have any co-current education programs for French immersion? I'm not 1,000% sure. Laura, do you know?
I don't think so. Because education is a post, like a professional program. So I believe that you still have to do an undergrad, so you could for sure do something within French and then go into your professional program of education. But I don't think we have a specific program. Let me just double check as well.
I think that will probably be our last question that we take. There's not any more anyways, but Laura and I are here until 6 p.m. today. So definitely pop in our chat. Let us know if you have any more questions, and we are more than happy to answer. Talking to you guys all day has been really exciting, and you guys are giving some really challenging questions. Like there's things I have to sit there and research for 5 minutes, but it's definitely worth it.
Please
But
keep
yeah,
them coming. We're more than happy to give you all of our information.
definitely. It's more than it's such a great time being here, and I'm so happy that we have the opportunity to kind of encourage you guys to all come. We will take this last question. Is there a degree? Is there a business degree or BCom? Yes. So we do have our commerce program, and we also have our international, global and international studies under the BComs program as well. So definitely take a look at that. If you have any questions about admissions or the requirements or prereqs, definitely shoot me and Laura a message, and we can find out all that information to you and let you know.
And just to finish it off, no, we don't have Teachers College, unfortunately. So we don't have a concurrent education program. But again, because it's like a professional program, you do have to do an undergrad. So if you are interested in an undergrad, please reach out to us. We have lots of different programs, including languages. All right, yeah. That's it.
So we hope we helped you out. Wow, English, clearly not. We hope we helped you out all today. Again, we are here until 6 o'clock, so you got about a couple more minutes to shoot us some messages, and we will be more than happy to help you out. And we definitely hope we see you at CU.